Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Dome Field Advantage podcast right here on the Fanatics Network. I am your host, Dylan Abear, and as you can see, he's back yet once again. Jordan Johnson. Jordan, uh, I just seen you Monday on the recap show. You're back on. How's your Wednesday going, man?
It's going good. Ready to talk about the Saints and hopefully it's better this Sunday.
You got that right. Hopefully, it's better this Sunday because we weren't happy on Monday. Usually we come on here, we talk, and we're happy. After that 2-0 start, we were very happy. And it's like, the Saints with Derek Carr getting hurt and the defense giving up and losing to the Packers. That was the big thing that like really switched our mood. So hopefully when you see us next week, it'll be better. So we're here today to preview the Saints' upcoming matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers inside the Superdome. It's the second NFC South matchup of the season in 4 weeks. So we're having another NFC South test early in the season, and it's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that we're not used of because we've been playing Tom Brady for the last few seasons, and now we're playing Baker Mayfield. So a Bucs team that we've been used to seeing, been having Tom Brady or been having Jameis Winston or been having what was the other guy's name? Josh Freeman, a long time ago whenever it was like, Vincent Jackson and everything playing over there. So, it's gonna be a fun matchup. There's a lot of fun matchups in this game alone, position on. Uh Obviously the big matchup is Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans, to hate each other. And in recent games, Marshawn Lattimore has been holding his own against them and has been playing fantastic. So it's going to be a fun one. But before we get into this game, before we hop into all the details just about this game, some Saints news came out yesterday, and it sucks it didn't come out Monday because we could have discussed it a little bit more with the other stuff. But the Saints finally answered our prayers. It has happened. Traquan Smith has been released from the Saints. Someone who the Saints looked at as such like someone with potential, and he did zero. He was I forgot what round the Saints took him in from UCF, and God, what a disappointment that guy has been. But all I can say about Traquan Smith is, yeah, he had some good plays with the Saints, more bad than good, but he was so useless on the field. He's someone who I was talking about on Monday about Keith Kirkwood, who seems like he's useless. He's doing nothing on the field, and that's why I would love to get someone maybe like an A.T. Perry a shot on the field this Sunday against the Bucs, but I don't know if they're going to continue to roll with Keith Kirkwood. It hasn't really paid off yet, but Traquan Smith's gone, and the only thing for one, the only other thing I could say about it is I believe really and truly that he could end up in Denver, and I say this because of who's there, and that's Sean Payton. Sean Payton is known for bringing those former Saints who are getting cut to his team. He traded for Will Lutz. He brought in Marquez Callaway, who is not with the team no more. And I think there was a tight end that the Saints had in preseason, and he picked them up off of waivers after the Saints had let him go. So Sean Payton has a history of picking up former Saints players. So I wouldn't be shocked if Traquan Smith ends up in Denver at some point this season. Jordan, when you saw the news that Traquan Smith finally gone from the Saints, what was the reaction like?
Like you said, he had some good plays, but he haven't did too much, and didn't even he didn't even play this year yet. So
No, he was on injured reserve, and the Saints released him
uh,
off IR. So, yeah, it's I think it's a good move because he didn't really do much for the team
mhm.
in his time over there. Like you said, like he made great plays at times, but not every time. So it's awesome to see him gone. I was never a fan of him, and whenever he made it to the 53 from preseason, I was left scratching my head from that because we're letting go of guys who contributed in preseason, and this guy did nothing, and somehow he makes the 53. I I really don't understand it. So it's good to see him gone. I'm never one to for once for someone to lose their job or anything like that, but this guy was a non-factor in the offense. So we freed up a spot. Maybe bring somebody in, or I don't know. So, but before we get into the game, let's hop into the chat. Few chats coming in already. Of course, we got our guy Justin from the End Time Wrestling Podcast tuning in. What's going on, man? Of course, we got our good friend Tim. Uh, some exciting news coming to the Fanatics Network. I'm not really obligated to say nothing yet, but if you follow our other podcast, World Elite, and I would want to tune in next Thursday at 7:30 because we have some stuff brewing up right there. Streets, of course, the host of Roto Slappers, tuning in for all your fantasy football needs. Check out all the stuff that Streets is doing. He's doing fantastic things, and of course, our movie guy Graydon, a host of the Director's Cut. Check him out every Tuesday. He's doing fantastic things. So, without any further ado, Jordan, we got nothing else to talk about. Let's talk about this game. Uh, I'm trying to finish the show rather quick because I got shows on TV tonight. Survivor's back, Mass Singer's back, Amazing Race is back. Full slate of shows, and along with AEW Dynamite. My Wednesdays are absolutely jam packed now. So it's good that I do the show at 6 because I got all my other stuff to watch at 7 on. So I guess when I go to bed. So yeah, it's awesome to see all the shows back. So let's hop into the game, Jordan. And it's the same stuff every week. It's the key offensive and defensive player that we're looking at every single week. It's it's the um it's the keys to a victory, and we end with a score prediction. We're obviously picking the
Yeah.
Saints, and so I don't even pick for us to pick a team. I just put score prediction because we're obviously each picking the Saints. So
Yeah.
to the first topic, and that is the key offensive and defensive player that we are highlighting this week. Who is someone that you want to go out there and for them to make a play. I put a few guys on here on this graphic right here. It could be somebody different, could be someone on here. Jordan, I will let you lead off. Who is your key offensive player that you want to have do something this week?
I'll put Michael Thomas because last week he wasn't really in the picture that much. He got what he caught it like not that many times, I don't think, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully this week he can go off or do something, get more catches like he did than last week.
Yeah, my offensive player, I'm gonna go with the obvious guy here, and I'm gonna go with Jameis Winston. I'm gonna go with Jameis because it's all a matter of he's gonna have a full week's practice with the first offense. Can he turn that practice into a win this week? And it could easily be Michael Thomas that we can highlight. It can be Alvin Kamara, who's coming back from suspension. It can be Chris Olave. Can he go over 100 yards again? It could be anybody at this point. It could be someone on that offensive line that we've been trash talking this whole time. So, yeah, I'm going with Jameis. Jameis seems to be the guy this week. They haven't officially ruled Derek Carr out for Sunday, which I think is pretty odd. I'm gonna get into the injury report later on in the show, but yeah, Jameis is my guy this week. I got full trust in him. He's someone who has been put in this position to lead an offense. He's been a starter before. Derek Carr had an interview today after practice say Jameis has been a starter before. It's not like he's being thrown into the wolves and he's never done this before. He has done it before. So I got full trust in Jameis. He's going to have a full week's practice with the first team, and I'm going to just let him roll with it. So yeah, Jameis is back. I'm excited for Jameis. Jameis is someone who I've respected since he was in Tampa Bay, and I hate Tampa Bay. So for me to respect somebody on another team, a rival team at that, yeah, that speaks volume right there. So defense. Defense has been killing it lately. Who's the defensive player this week that you want to see some action from?
I got my boy Cameron Jordan. Look,
There we go. There we go. I love it. Yeah, Cam
and
Jordan, man.
hopefully
He's
he can get some pressure on the quarterback.
he's got to do something this week. You'd think. He's. Every game he's been coming this close to doing something, and I don't know, man. It's like I don't know if the age is playing a factor for Cam Jordan. He can't move as fast as what he do. But I mean, I think it was against Tennessee. He was looking good. I believe he got a sack and a half, and he looked good. And the same thing for Carl Granderson. Carl Granderson, if I didn't have somebody different right here on this list, I think Carl Granderson would be the guy I'm looking at because he has been playing fantastic. He earned that extension that he got last week from the Saints. But my defensive player, I already talked about the matchup. I want to see if he's going to hold his own again. I'm going with Marshawn Lattimore. And Marshawn Lattimore, I mean, I'm not being a homer. I'm not being biased. But I really think, I mean, look at the stats. He is playing like he's one of the best in the league right now. And like I said, I mean, for one, you can say, oh, he's a Saints fan. Obviously, he's going to say Lattimore is the best corner. But really and truly, like I said, look at the stats. I mean, look at the stats of people he's covering. He's not giving up really anything. And in recent games against the Buccaneers, he has absolutely destroyed Mike Evans. And Mike Evans had a pretty decent game against Philadelphia on Monday. But I mean, I really feel like he's going to hold his own against Mike Evans. So yeah, he's my guy this week on defense that I'm highlighting. I'm hoping when we come back on here next week that I'm saying some good stuff about Marshawn and I'm not like trash talking the guy because he's been having a great year. So yeah, give me Marshawn Lattimore as my defensive guy this week. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a fun matchup. It's always been fun against Tampa Bay. Even without Tom Brady there, it's always been fun matchups against Tampa Bay, and it's in the Superdome, so that kind of makes it a little bit better for us. So, getting to our next topic, let's get to keys to a victory. What do the Saints need to do? I mean, hopefully something different than last week to win against the Buccaneers. So, I put two defensive guys on here. I wanted to be a little different. Obviously, I put Marshawn, put Brian Bresee on here as well. But I mean, what do we need to do to get it going this week?
The defense needs to like play better than last week because I think when Derek Carr went down, they just like stopped playing and they need to just hopefully like get it going. And
Mm-hmm.
my other one is score in the red zone. I know they scored once in the red zone last week, I think. But if
Mm-hmm.
they can score more in the red zone, then that's good. And then my other one is move the ball down the field and not get no flags,
Mm-hmm.
like holding calls and all that. So yeah, I think if they do all that, we're gonna be all happy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I only put three this week, because some stuff to clean up from last week, obviously, falling apart once Derek Carr got hurt, something that it really hurt the team. It honestly made the Saints and fans, like in general, I mean, pretty discouraged. Look at the performance. I mean, they held the Packers to 0 points at halftime, and then once Derek Carr gets hurt, you give up 18 straight points and you don't score anything. That's, I mean, pretty deflating to look at as a fan. So, my first one, I put the offensive line has to block for Jameis. I mean, as much as I critiqued Derek Carr for holding on to the ball too long, I mean, the offensive line still let up and gave up a sack, and that paid the price for Saints fans seeing their star quarterback go down to Derek Carr. So the offensive line has to block for Jameis. I mean, we cannot afford another injury at this point, and we kept Jameis because of times like this. Jameis, he stayed true to the city. He re-signed that 1 year deal with the Saints, and something we have to do is to block for Jameis because, like I said, we can't afford another injury because all we got left is Taysom, and we signed, I believe, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Jake Luton from the Panthers, the practice squad. Now he's on our 53. But I mean, the guy's been in the league for a little bit. He doesn't really have much playing experience though, so I'm not gonna put all my chips in on Jake Luton to start for the Saints because that spells disaster right there. So we got to block for Jameis. We got to give him time to throw because when he has time to throw, he can connect. Number two of my three keys, I got 0 turnovers. As much as I love Jameis, I love seeing what this guy does in the field and off the field. He's known for turnovers. He had that season where he threw over 5,000 yards, but he also threw 30 interceptions. And his last throw of that year, where he threw 30, was a pick six to Devin White for the Buccaneers. No, it wasn't to Devin White. He was with the Buccaneers. He threw it to what's his name? Deion Jones for the Falcons. It was a pick six. It was the last I think it was the last play of the Buccaneers career before he came to the Saints. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, like I said, as much as I love Jameis, he's got to clean that up. If we get 0 turnovers with Jameis at quarterback, I see doesn't win already. So if they give him time to throw, he doesn't throw a pick, he doesn't get sacked and fumble. I don't see why we can't win this game. And my last and final key to a victory this Sunday is continue to play a clean game. The Saints are this season haven't been really heavily penalized, and I want to continue to be like that. They've done nothing really this season to really shoot themselves in the foot. And if they continue to play like that, I'm not guaranteeing a victory because they were pretty clean last week and look what happened. So I want just, for one, we're not going to get 0 penalties. Let's be honest, we're not getting 0. But if we can get, 2, 3, maybe for only about 15, 20 yards, that's fine. So, yeah, continue playing a clean game, and I say you have no problem. So, I guess we'll see. So, getting into our last topic before I have some announcements about the show, and then we get to the injury report. We'll discuss that for a little bit. Let's get our score prediction. This is always a pretty easy one for us because we're not picking the game because we're both wearing Saints hats and we're talking about Saints, so we're not picking against them. Let's be honest, we're not picking against them. Jordan, you have the Saints winning, but what score do you have it winning by?
I got a 21-14.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty fair. I got the Saints winning 20-13. The Saints have not really been the highest scoring team this season, and that all goes on the offense. So yeah, I got them scoring 20 points, and I'm being generous right there. But I think the defense can do what it takes to only hold the Buccaneers to 13. So 20-13 is my final score of the game. But I have been so off with final scores, so no telling what the hell is going to happen on Sunday. It could be a high scoring shootout. It could be 13-10. I don't know. So that'll do it for our topics. I got a few other things I want to discuss. I want to talk one more thing about the game. Shout out to Dango also for tuning in. Love what you're doing on the Dynamite reviews. Love what you're doing for the SmackDown watch-alongs, and of course Outrage Control. You can catch every Sunday, but you can catch it this Friday because of Wrestle Dream on Sunday. They're doing a combined Outrage Control and SmackDown watch along on Friday. So tune into that one. There's going to be some fantastic stuff. But yeah, let's get into the injury report real quick for the Saints. I'm not going to talk so much about the Bucks injury report, but all right, let's see. We got safety Jordan Howden went down today with a finger injury. He was a do not practice. Derek Carr, pretty obvious. He didn't practice today either with a right shoulder injury. Cesar Ruiz is still in concussion protocol. So that, we talk offensive line, and one of our top offensive linemen, Cesar Ruiz, is down with a concussion, and he didn't practice as well. Paulson Adebo, who was inactive last week, also did not practice with a hamstring injury. Falston Moreau, he also didn't play last week at an ankle injury. He was listed as did not practice as well. And then Jimmy Graham and Ryan Ramczyk were both just out today with rest, which honestly, Ryan Ramczyk, why are you resting? You're an offensive lineman, and you were one of the big weaknesses of our offensive line. He's been playing fantastic throughout his career with the Saints, but this season he's been playing pretty subpar, and I'm not loving it. So honestly, you don't need to be resting right now. You need to be playing. You need to be practicing. What are you doing right now? but I mean, Jimmy Graham rested and he rested as well. But for Ryan Ramczyk resting, I think that's a pretty bad call. But that's the
Yeah.
Saints injury report on Wednesday. I'll be following it more as the week goes on. They'll have their Thursday practice and their Friday one as well before they start rolling guys out. And like I said, it's crazy that they haven't already ruled Derek Carr out. I think it would be a legit miracle if he plays on Sunday. I don't want him to because I don't want to risk a further damage to that shoulder. But I'm not going to lie, if I'm going to say that, I could really see him playing next week. And that's crazy for me to say. But Derek Carr seems like he's doing well with the rehab he's doing on his shoulder. It's nothing that requires any surgery or be out for the season or anything like that. They said he would miss time, but they still haven't rolled him out yet, which I think is nuts. That he's still, I mean, he showed up to practice, but he didn't practice. But I don't know if he's holding out hope that he can play Sunday. I don't want him to, like I said, to risk that further damage to his shoulder. But I really think it's a reality that he can play next week. Just got to see how the shoulder goes, how he if he tests it out and whatnot. Um, yeah, but that'll do it for the Saints talk. For just about the game. It's going to be a good game on Sunday. It's going to be a fantastic one. We are looking forward to it. But a few things about the show going forward. I already discussed it with some people within the network. Uh, Starting next week, I'm going to be going to 1 day a week. So you will not see me anymore on Mondays. I will be doing only Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. It may be a little bit longer show, but I'll be going on at 6 to do like the first half of the show. I'll do like a recap from the game, and then the second half I'll be bringing in hopefully somebody to do a preview of the next game. And I believe the Saints next week play the Patriots at Gillette Stadium, and there's someone who's on this network that's a big Patriots fan also commented on the show already. So Dango from Outreach Control is going to be joining me next Wednesday for the second portion of the show to talk Saints Patriots. Uh, it's going to be a fun one. Looking forward to it. But that's not all I have for this show. And it's not a surprise to anybody because I already consulted with this person already. But whenever I started doing this show, I said that it was only going to be me doing it. You know, I always wanted to expand and to do something on my own. And I when I did that, I mean, the like first 4 or 5, maybe even 6 episodes of this show, I did on my own. I brought a guest on my own. I, I did that, but sooner or later, it comes time where it gets a little boring talking to yourself. And I always wanted to see maybe do I need a co-host for this show? And honest to God, if you look at the last couple of weeks, I think it's a no-brainer if I would ever if I would bring a co-host onto the show, who would it be? So it's my absolute pleasure to announce that the guy you're looking at on your screen right now, Jordan, is the newest member of the Dome Field Advantage podcast hosting team. It was a no-brainer that Jordan was the guy to bring on here. And Jordan, I'll let you say a few things about the show, coming on, what it means and whatnot. But let me be the first one to congratulate you coming onto the show. You've been serving as that guest co-host kind of, the last couple of weeks, but starting next week, you will be serving as an official co-host for the show. So once again, congratulations, you earned it. This is something you've been working for. You also do work for us on World Elite as well. And for one, you've been killing it. But coming on here talking football, talking a whole new thing that you talk, it's been super impressive. Everyone's been impressed with you, not just me. So you earned it. So congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me on. Like talking about the Saints football and all that. So yeah, thank you for bringing me on.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, it was a no-brainer to bring you on, and I pitched the idea a while back, and the idea was well received, as you can tell by the comments. It was it was a no-brainer. Uh, so every Wednesday now, 6 p.m. Central, you're going to be seeing myself and my new co-host, for the show. Jordan coming on, and we'll be doing what we do best, and that is talking Saints football. But that will do it for this special edition, I should say, of the Dome Field Advantage podcast. Catch us next Wednesday as we will be recapping the game and previewing our next one against the Patriots. Before we wrap up, Jordan, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on the X at join_J2000.
Awesome. And you can find me on social media at DylanAber_. I'm gonna have to insert Jordan's handle into the little ticker at the bottom as well. But yeah, you can find me at DylanAber_. And the podcast is now on social media. I've been thinking if I should get the podcast on there, and I did. And now you can find it on Twitter, X. I don't care at this point, but you can go find it at Domefield TFN. So if you're not following it now, go follow it. I'm gonna be posting some more content, maybe some game day graphics and whatnot, and hopefully build it to where I'll get a good following on it and whatnot. But yeah, you'll be catching all the content now for the Domefield Advantage podcast on there at Domefield TFN as well. So that'll do it. Once again, congratulations, Jordan. You earned this opportunity. I, for one, know you're going to make the most of it. But catch us next Wednesday. Once again, we'll be recapping this game and talking Patriots. But until next time, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their week. There's so much more content now coming to the Fanatics Network. From one right after we go off, the AEW Dynamite the watch along as they get closer to Wrestle Dream. TK, Dango, Kayla is going to be going on doing a watch along of Dynamite. Thursday, you got Wrestle Bread going on. JD's going on to do her picks and predictions for No Mercy and for Wrestle Dream as well. Outrage Control's doing a watch along of SmackDown. And then, of course, the big weekend that we have No Mercy watch party on Saturday, and we got a watch party for Wrestle Dream on Sunday. So a crazy ton of content coming to the Fanatics Network this week. I'm checking the schedule to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yes, I did. I missed the Universal Wrestling podcast. I never know when they're going on. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, catch them Thursday, 6 p.m. Central. So the same time you see us, you'll be seeing them tomorrow for the Universal Wrestling podcast as well. So that'll do it. Hope everyone has a great rest of their week, has a great rest of their Wednesday. Go enjoy Dynamite. Go enjoy. If you watch all the shows I talked about at the beginning, hope you enjoyed as well. And we will see you all next week. So y'all have a good one.